Alright, welcome back to season 3 of our show, and today we're coming at you with a classic throwback, steak and eggs. We're going to show you how to get this seasoned up and cooked up. Stick around, don't go anywhere. Alright, so it's a classic throwback, steak and eggs. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make our onions, make our peppers. Very specific how you cut these onions. Now, what I like to do is peel them. I'll cut them in half like that, and I'll just put them to the side like this and just go down. Now it's done. Into the basket they go. That's how you want to do all these. Takes no time. And just get them in. Just turn it over. Now this recipe is a very old recipe, as you guys know. I think it's just a classic American recipe. And to this day, it's still a good go-to recipe. So just like that, all the onions in. And here's our peppers. Now, I cut these, I washed them, and I'm just going to show you how to slice these. So you want to go like that. You want pieces about that big to go on your steak. If you want, you can go a little bit smaller, but I like them big, like that. Put a couple together and just cut them up. Makes it a lot easier when you just put them on top of each other. Makes it real simple to cut up peppers. So here we go, just like that. And off to the side we go. Now we're using a cast iron pan today. And we're frying these on the stove, just like we did back in the day. It's so funny because I asked 3 people, when's the last time you had steak and eggs? They said they just can't remember. So we're bringing it back for you today. All right, so let's get this out of here. Now here's our steaks. We're using some nice fat ribeyes. Look at those, they are beautiful, aren't they? So the first thing we'll do is we'll get some salt on. Now we're going to be frying these in about 2 seconds. Normally I don't put the salt on if I'm not frying them, but we need a good amount of that kosher salt because you can see how thick these are. About 2.5 inches thick. A little bit better than that. So we get our salt on. And now we're using a rub. This is a rub that I just made up. Garlic powder, onion powder, a little oregano, a little cumin powder in here. I suggest you make it yours. Now there's no pepper in here and there's no salt. So just season away because there's no salt. And so many people ruin a beautiful dish by just over salting it. I mean, if you over pepper, you can kind of deal with that. But when you over salt it, it's pretty much gone. You're not going to get that one back. If you do over salt it, you can rinse the salt off before you cook it. But once you cook it, it's done. Let's just pick up our rub on that tray. This way nothing goes to waste and just get everything on there. All right, so we're going in with some pepper. 16 mesh. I'm going in with a decent amount of that. And whatever falls onto the tray, we're going to pick it right up. All right, right here we have just a little bit of canola oil. This is just to get those rubs stuck to there. But we will fry these in lard. This little bit of oil is not going to make a difference. This is just to get all the rubs nice and stuck to it. but they're being fried in the cast iron with lard. All right. So we're gonna let these sit for about 5 minutes. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, first thing we're gonna do is cook down our veggies. So we got our onions in here and our peppers, so let's get these in. Got them on medium heat. Now, on the bottom of here, that's lard. So we're cooking these down in lard. You guys know I cook everything in lard. Right here is an oregano and thyme mix. We're going to sprinkle that in. Get a little salt in there, not much. Just like that. And this, we're going to let the natural flavors of all that come out. We're going to cook this down and meet you right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so these onions and peppers are cooking down. I just want to show you this. Now I'm about to lower the heat on this. To about a simmer. And I'm going to let them cook down slowly while we get our eggs ready. Just let them cook down nice and easy. And that's it. So we'll meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, that pan is smoking red hot, and I'm getting it as hot as I can get it for an electric stove. And in with our steaks we go. Now I'm going to get my blower on so you guys won't be able to hear me. And then we're going to meet you back here, so there you go. We'll show you the flip, don't go anywhere. 2 minutes in, we're flipping. Now I'm going to swap these two sides out because I'm not happy with that crust on that side. And that's inside for you, electric stove, so I'm going to bring this back over on this side where my heat is. Get a better crust on that one and bring that one over there. All right, we're going to get these cooked up and we're going to meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, we flipped these. I'm going to show you the other side. That's where we're at. I'm going to start to get these on their side like that. I'm going to brown all the sides up and then we're going to meet you back here. All right, we're about 4 minutes in, 4 to 5 minutes in. And I just kept turning these back and forth. And that's what you want to do. This way all the sides get beautiful. Now this piece right here at the end, I'm just going to pick it up and just hold it there, like that. This way you're browning up all the sides and charring up all that nice fat. Alright, we're going to keep doing this and we're going to pull these and we'll meet you onto the chopping block, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, our steaks are ready. Our peppers and onions are ready to roll. Let's show you the eggs. So right here I have 8 eggs. Now I like my eggs very light, very fluffy. And a lot of people just don't know how to make scrambled eggs, which we're doing today, the correct way. So we're going to use a little bit of salt. Just a touch. Now I got some whole milk here. I've also got a beater here, electric. We're going to dump just a little bit of milk in, just like that. Now this is going to get them nice and light and fluffy. And then we're going to go in with their beater. Touch more milk. There you go. If you do this right, it should take that long. All right, onto the cooker we go. All right, just when you see that butter, there's butter in here. There's about a stick of butter I put in here, 8 eggs, and just when you see that butter just starting to bubble just a little bit, you want to go in with your eggs. Just like that. Now, one thing that kind of drives me crazy is when people do eggs, or they scramble them like which we're doing today, is that they'll just keep moving them and moving them and moving them, and then they just pulverize the egg. There's just nothing left to it. So you want to go on a nice medium heat, which they're on, and leave them. Don't touch them. And let them do their thing. And just when you see the egg starting to form, you're going to move it gently. Now, for some, eggs happen to be the hardest thing to cook. You're just going to watch them. The scene's going to be a little bit long because I want you to see this. I'm going to add a little bit more heat to them. And believe it or not, eggs are very hard to do on an electric stove. So sometimes you'll have to get the electric stove really hot and keep removing the pan and put it back on and take it back off and put it back on, just because you can't control the flame like you would do a gas stove like I have outside. So you can see the egg starting to form a little bit. So when you start to see little bubbles in there come up, I'm just going to check it, move it gently like that. And just move it from the outside and move it around. I'm going to take the egg and move it back and let the raw egg get a chance to cook. As you can see it happening there. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just take this and we'll bring it back like that. Let it cook and gently move it. Now as it starts to get hotter, we're going to turn our heat down to medium because we don't want to burn this. We're just going to keep moving it back and giving the raw egg a chance to cook. Just like that. I'm going to flip the egg over and just gently cook it. Just like that. This is how you want your eggs to come out. Now I'm going to take my spatula and I'm just going to break them. I'm not going to mush them up. Just break them and flip them. The only time I ever use a spatula is with this, with eggs. So I can go gentle with them. We're going to move these to the side and get the raw egg in and flip it again. Take your spatula and chop. Flip that over. Now I'm shutting my heat off completely. And get them around. And then now you can start to make your eggs scrambled. Just slightly chopping them and leaving them whole. So this way you get a nice, light, fluffy egg. That's it. And turn them over. And just like that, off the heat they go. Because you want them to cook the rest of the way in the pan. Alright, we're going to organize and meet you onto the chopping block, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, here we are, steak and eggs on the chopping block. Let's show you what we got. Look at those guys. Beautiful. Now I'm just going to move these over, just so we can get into one. And I think we'll cut into this guy right here. Heavy steak. Alright, so total cooking time for this was about 12 minutes, and I let them rest. And let's just cut into this. Show you what we got going on. Look at that. Perfectly medium rare. That's how you want that, especially for an indoor steak. Let's get a slice on there. Cut it again this way. Wow. That is spot on. Doesn't get any more spot on than that. All right, we're going to put this back and show you what this looks like on a plate. So first thing we'll do, let's get a big old steak on here. The whole thing. That's exactly how we're serving this today. There's only two of us eating. Me and the cameraman tonight. And we made some nice onions and peppers here. We're gonna get some of that on top of there. Just like that. That's the way it was back in the days. Load it up with some onions and peppers. Alright, let's get some of these beautiful eggs on here. These are those eggs that we made. Let's get them over here. Look at that. Can't go wrong with that meal, right? Maybe a little bit more. Even it out. Okay. Now we made some home fried potato chips and kettle chips here. We're just going to put a couple of those right onto the plate as well too. This way you got some nice fried potatoes. We're going to leave a link in the description to these kettle chips being made if you haven't seen them already. It's a video we made before, and we'll just leave that link in there again so this way you can check that one out. Alright, we're just going to top these eggs off with just a little bit of scallion on the top. Just like that. Alright, and there it is. A beautiful steak and egg meal. Old school style. Alright, we're going to get situated, get cleaned up, and we're going to meet you guys right back here. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, and there it is. Steak and eggs. A throwback classic. We got some beautiful peppers and onions on there. Fluffy eggs. Kettle chips made from scratch. And we're going to leave a link in the description. This way you can see those kettle chips being made if you haven't seen that video already. Check that one out. It's a must. Thank you for coming. We enjoyed having you. And with no further ado, gotta get a little bit master taste there.